Years.
Welcome to Catfish Weekly, presented by Whisker Wear Apparel, along with the Dr. Tim Lang. I'm Lyle Stokes. Cindy's spinning the wheel tonight, and we got a good one going on tonight, Doc. It's a huge deal.
Yes, we do. I had a great weekend. I think everybody enjoyed themselves. The Catfish Conference was awesome, as always.
It was. That event has grown into a mega event that we do for the catfish industry, and we're lucky to have Hervé come in and help us tonight understand what takes place and the numbers and all the stuff that went on with putting this deal together. Welcome, Hervé.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody.
This thing that you guys do down there started out at Jeff Jones Marine, and nobody knew it would be as big as it was the first year. And here we are into what is turned it to be just a mega deal. And I can't imagine how much work you put into this thing.
There's a lot of work, and it's true when you look back. It's only 2 years ago, 2016, we started at Jeff Jones. And I remember when Jeff called me and said, hey, you know, Jim Harper and Steve had an idea. We just, want to work on that, want to do a small conference. We just started with the expectation we would have about 250 people. And from the 250 people, we grew to 500 people, and then 1,200 people. And that was a matter of a few days. I remember Steve calling me and say, man, the ticketing system doesn't work. Something's broken. And I go and check. And we had sold out in a matter of a few hours. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. In the second year, we had such a huge support from the community of anglers out there. I mean, it was just incredible. It's very humbling. And all the vendors, of course, as well, which helped us make the conference. It's just outstanding.
It is, and we opened the door up and had the phone on doing a Facebook Live before Saturday morning opened up, and people was almost begging to let them in. I mean, as far as you can see down the hall, and unless you've been to the Crown Plaza, you don't know how long that hallway really is, and they're backed up all the way to the front.
That's right. That's right.
Unbelievable. Just it's unreal how popular that event's become. And, Doc, a few years ago, if anybody would have told me that would be that big a deal with catfishing, I would have laughed and said, no way it'd ever be like that. And in 3 years, it just, boom, it's huge.
Yeah, considering, it started in a marine shop, and where it's at now, it's really come a long ways. And it's gotten better every year.
Absolutely.
And, a lot of it is to the people that are running it. They're doing a great job. Can't say enough about them.
That's exactly right. Now, Hervé, the numbers of people that showed up the last couple of years, do you have any idea how much it's grown?
Yes. So the first year, we estimated between the tickets and everybody out there, we did the count on the video that took a while. We had 1,200 people about year one. Year two, so 2017, we were about 2,800 people, I'd say, a very solid 2,800. And this year we are over 3,200. I mean, it's just grown so fast. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And those numbers, it's people that actually came to us and checked in. So we get the ticket, we scan it, and we know they are in the system. And the best thing of all of that, we have guests that in 25 different states, guys. That's half of the U.S. It's huge. People from California, from Arizona, from Washington, New York, Chicago. People just drove and flew to the event. It's just beautiful.
It is, and it's just it's so much fun to be down there, and people come by and we're trying to do shows, and they're walking up and shaking hands and glad to be there. And we sit there, Doc, and we watched them pack rods in by the base loads and haul them out by the handfuls. And it wasn't just fishing rods. It was all kinds of tackle. Poor old Scott Manning, he thought he was prepared for this, and he sold out almost instantly on Demon Dragons.
Yeah, and Tony was right across across from us, and we watched him disappear. And he's like me. He's a pretty big boy, and it's hard to cover him up, but he got covered up over there.
Yeah, he did. And Caleb, he's so little, you know, he just.
Yeah, he was gone right from after the first 10 people come in there.
Know, the difference with some of that stuff is Joe Lucky and Jerry Klein, them some really tall guys, and they kind of tower over everybody. And they was back with Steve back in that little hole back in the back, and there was a line to get into that area where Steve Douglas and Tangle with Catfish was at. There were so many people in there, they was lined up to get in as people come out.
That's right. That's right. And their products are so popular, but, you know, it all has to do with the individuals behind all those, you know, those brands. Those guys are awesome. They're friendly. When you talk to them, it's not, you know, you don't have any distance. You're part of the catfishing family. It's one big giant family. And I don't know if you remember, but, you know, Friday when everybody was coming and, you know, setting all their booths up, I mean, some of them drove 17 hours to get there. So, of course, you're exhausted, you're tired. You don't really want to talk to anybody. You just want to get over with it and go to bed to be ready for the following day. But when we all got together that evening, it was that family impression. Everybody was happy to see each other. Everybody was greeting each other. It's just a big get-together, and that's awesome. That's what we want to achieve.
Well, you have achieved that. You know, we set up down there, and, you know, I went in Friday night. Cindy and I went in there, and we set up all our stuff to check it, to make sure it worked. And I'm not sure I'd even seen you yet, Doc. Maybe I had.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, but had we talked at that time?
No, no,
yeah.
We hadn't talked.
Yeah, we hadn't even talked, and we get everything set up, and you have to test it to make sure connections and all the stuff is good. And here come our old buddy Dieter, and since we was testing it, I'm saying, hell, Dieter, let's just do one. And then Doc showed up, and that was one of the best interviews we had. But when you get down there and all these people that show up that you only see once or twice a year, it's like a family reunion atmosphere.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. And, you know, one of the things that I tried to tell these guys, I told Jerry Klein, I told Tony Caton, these people want to see you. They want to put your product and your face together. So when they grab that Tangle with Catfish rod, they know who Jerry Klein is. They know who Joe Lucky is. They know who Jerry Klein Sr. is, and Jason Rath. They know all those guys that was in that booth, and they can relate to that product. And the same way to Big Cat Fever, they want to know that who Caleb Page is. They want to know who Tony Caton is, and who Captain Scott Manning is, Bryce. They want to know all those guys, so when they hold that, they can picture in their mind who they picked that up from. So, you know, and that's what works for down there, because they get to meet all those guys that they may or may never got to see before, or might not see them again for a year or two.
Yeah, and you know, and everybody was having a good time. What they call it, the Party Cove. That's what was behind us, wasn't it? Jason and them was hooping and hollering and carrying on, and then oh boy, somebody said something to me, and I can't remember who it was. Jerry Klein Sr. He goes, "Hey Doc, the puddles out in the parking lot are pretty deep. You better get a life jacket on." So yeah, I will not forget that.
I've known Jerry Klein for a long time. I really have. And him and Joe fished together a lot. We fished against him a whole bunch of times. And he's one of the finest gentlemen you'll ever meet. And he's wound up like that. And actually, to be quite honest, Doc, I'm glad he was on you a little bit, because usually he's on me.
Yeah. But he's on me. Yeah. And I had it coming. So that's cool. I got on him about something last year. So it was just a little bit, you know, he took it and ran. He did a good job with it, though.
Man, it was really, really a neat deal. Herbie, I know you put in a year's worth of work every year to make this happen. And I know that next year it's going to be bigger and better yet. And one thing that I want to tell these vendors that are not coming to this conference for whatever reason, everybody that was there either sold out or nearly sold out, and they doubled or tripled what they brought the year before. You're missing out on one of the greatest events in our sport.
We do our best to support vendors. I mean, this is not a commercial operation. We're not seeking to make money. We don't want to lose money, of course, but we just want to end, flat and make sure everybody has a great time and vendors can, make a living. Those guys work all year round. I mean, they have day jobs and they do that at home once they get back, most of them, for the smaller ones. I mean, it's important for them, and we're there to help them in their success, just helping transporting their brand to everybody out there that has an interest in catfishing. So, I mean, I definitely believe we are a good option just to spread the word out in a great way, and for them to make it profitable as well.
That's exactly right, and it's a huge success. From our standpoint of getting the word out and doing shows down there, I can't thank you enough we've been there every year. You've been kind enough to offer us a spot every year, and it means a lot. We have a great time down there, and it's fun interviewing those guys that have the vendors that have their booths set up, and the people that's coming through buying stuff. And they come to buy, they really do, but they come to see what's available also. And all of the fishermen and the top people in the sport are there, Jeff Dodd and Larry Muse and all those guys, the Massengill brothers, they're all there. And we missed getting Daryl and Jason on this year for whatever reason, but we run a bunch of them through, didn't we, Doc?
Yeah. We had quite a few people. It was pretty humbling. Got to meet a lot of people, I got to meet Luke and Dieter. Had never met him, have talked to him on here, have seen him on videos, and, we go back and forth. But it was pretty humbling, putting my hand in their hand and saying, "Hey, buddy," and,
yep.
And just hugging. And it was good. I was real humbled down there.
Amazing. Just simply amazing. And Hervé, I'm going to speak for the Catfish family.
Go ahead.
And we're going to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for working so hard and making this the great event that it is.
You know what? No, guys, we thank you, because the Catfish Conference, it's not us, it's the community. You all make that possible. You, Doc, everybody out there, it's because of we're just a location. We just try to arrange everything together, but that's the community that gets together, and that's the awesome part of things. So we thank you all for coming, for those who had an interest that couldn't come, for everybody following us on social media, on YouTube channels as well, and that just are supporting us. And of course, all the vendors and the speakers. The speakers were just amazing. You can learn so much from them. It's the best opportunity to come, meet those guys that you see all the time, shake their hands, as you said. It's humbling, but you can learn from them, and that's the best place, and that's the best thing to do. So we all guys.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we never even have touched on that yet, but there was some of the greatest speakers down there doing seminars in the world. They're I mean, the top guys in the nation, they're down there. So
it's the top.
It was just a bang up show, and I enjoy it so much every year, but it seemed like this year was very special. They all are. Every year they seem to get a little bit better, but this year was you knocked it out of the park.
Well, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Really, it means a whole lot to hear that. It really does.
Well, Hervé, I know that you're busy. We got some other people get on here. Again, thanks for what you do. We can't wait to get back to the next one next year. And if there's anything that Catfish Weekly can do to help you promote this event, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Have him give us a number so we can spin that wheel before he leaves.
Oh, hey, that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
You want to help us out?
I sure do.
Doc, I'm going to let you know we have 402 entries in the Rig Wrap prize wheel tonight.
Hey, we must be giving something away big. Either that or they really like us from where we were down there this weekend. What do you think?
Hervé, if you'll give me a number between 1 and 5, we'll pick a winner, and let's see what they can come up with.
I'm going to give you number 4.
Number 4. There's 1, 2,
Go back. Go on.
3, 4, and the winner is Bradley Young.
He won last week. He can't win again, can he?
He won last week?
Yes.
Yeah,
Bradley
won last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we'll go with the number right under him. Yeah, you're only allowed to win once every 30 days. Justin Thornton.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Justin Thornton. All right, let's see what he gets. Can you see the wheel okay, Doc?
Yes, sir. Can't right now because it's a blur.
It's a blur. Mud Bum Supply Shack. Justin, if you will contact the boys at Mud Bums at the Mud Bum Supply Shack, they have a gift certificate where you can get your winnings and spend it right there, and they'll ship it out from Iowa and get it to you. They have a ton of stuff up there. I've been there, and they've got everything you want. I believe it's a $25 gift certificate. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Contact them guys, and they will hook you up. Thanks for watching the show, Justin, and playing the Rig Wrap Prize Wheel game.
Awesome.
Right.
And there goes my dog.
There, okay, at least he's chewing on something, so we're set. Hervé, thank you again for everything you do for catfishing. It means so much to a lot of us. So, like I say, whatever we can do to help you to promote this next year, just be sure and let me know.
We'll let you know, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everybody.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Hervé. Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you. It's been 12 hours.
Yeah, tell your IT guy to send me an email.
I will.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Here.
Doc, what an event that was, man. We had such a great time.
Yep.
It was huge. I mean, huge. I just was very humbled. Right off the bat, a guy walked up to the to our booth where we was set up doing the show and brought a new cooler in, a new Yeti cooler for us to autograph for him right off the bat.
Yeah.
That was really, really neat. Alex, whenever you get a chance, click on him. We're ready. But
the other one was humbling for me. Remember the little girl that walked up there and she's reaching in and getting the candy out of the bowl Lynn had there, and she goes, Doc, every Monday night I watch your show until either I fall asleep or mommy makes me go to bed. Oh man, that was it for me.
Is that the little girl that I give the Rig Wrap pack to?
Yes, yeah.
She kept looking at them and everything, and you know, you just can't stand it. Little guy like that, you just gotta.
Someone said that was his little girl.
Oh, really?
Hold on. WYAKIN Walking Sarah.
That's pretty neat. It's too much fun. Alex Nagy was at the Catfish Conference yesterday, drove back and worked today, and now he's on Catfish Weekly tonight.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, dude?
Oh, not much. Can you hear me and see me okay?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm going to turn my volume up just a little bit because I think yours is fine. It's me. What'd you think of that deal down there, man?
Oh, it was great. I didn't get to go last year because I wasn't quite prepared for my tournament the weekend after, but I got everything ready this year. So I got a chance to go down there. Kind of overwhelming how many people showed up.
Yeah.
I was able to work with some of my sponsors at their booths and meet a lot of people, like you guys said, you know, from Dieter Melhorn to just people that you see on YouTube and all around the country. So it was kind of cool to put, you know, faces to guys you get to talk to on Facebook a lot. So
there was a couple of things that happened down there from our end that I thought was really a lot of fun. And one of them was the Friday night deal with Dieter. I mean, I thought that was a blast. Dieter and Doc and I and Cindy all sat around there, and until that point, we've dealt with Dieter online and stuff, but we never had met him. and he's just the same sitting down at our table doing a show as he was visiting online with. We had an absolute ball with Dieter. And then when Dieter and Luke come over, Doc and I just kind of got up and let them do Catfish Weekly at their own style. And that was a lot of fun to watch those two, because they yak back at each other all the time, and they'd not met each other, and they're just sitting there, and it was like two old friends that was retired, didn't have anything to do except gripe at each other, and it was a hoot, man.
Yeah. And it gave us a break, and we were able to get out and see people and go to some of the booths, and that we haven't been able to do that in past years.
That's exactly right. And I want to mention something before we get started with our interview with Alex. When I got ready to kick the show off this morning, I noticed that we was 2 subscribers shy of 2,000. Thank you guys for that so much. The likes and shares, the comments to our shows, and the subscriptions mean so much, not only to us to get things done in Catfish Weekly, but the fact that you actually watch us and interact with us and appreciate the things that we're trying to do. It means a great deal. It's just really, really awesome. So thank you guys for all that. And Alex, you got your first tournament of the year coming up Saturday.
Yep. I was a little nervous after going down to Owensboro and seeing the water.
Oh,
you guys are dealing with that. That's horrible. I've been through a flood, and I saw some pictures of Owensboro, and it's devastating. So as of right now, it seems like the St. Louis area is the one that's not being hit the hardest yet. North of there, I think we're going to see it pretty soon. But talking to a few guys that are down there and know the area, they said it should be a pretty good weekend. They like where the water level's at and think some good fish will be caught. So I'm excited. We've got 29 boats registered for next Saturday.
You'll have 50, 60 or more, won't you?
Yeah, I think we were around 25 registered last year and had 63. So usually that number doubles for the tournament. So I'm looking around 50 boats.
Yep, it'll be huge. It'll be a great event. I know we're planning on being there, and unless the water for some reason does jump way up, and if it does, I'm not going to take those risks anymore like I used to. But we're planning on being there and fishing with John Nordyke, and we're going to have a great time. The fish ought to be on fire.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. There's some really great teams coming, just from all over. So it's always fun to see what them guys are going to bring in. I wish I could be out there against them, but I'll be watching from the bank and waiting to see what they get, what they catch. So absolutely.
Thank you, Carl Wells. I appreciate that. I hope your Chamber of Commerce guys watches our show tonight too. That'd be great. Yeah, and you've got a big year planned.
Yeah. Yep. That's last year I had 9 tournaments and kind of said I was going to have maybe that or less, and now I got 12 tournaments. Just got with some people that wanted some events in their area, and now we have 12 tournaments. So it's kind of crazy how much it's, this sport through all the tournaments and other people getting involved. The numbers, I think I already have 91 registered throughout the year, throughout my 12 tournaments. So yeah, 12 tournaments and some new ones that I'm kind of excited about. Actually, after St. Louis, Missouri, we go to Columbia, Missouri to Catfish Katie's March 25th. It's a new area that not a lot of people have put on tournaments, and I'm excited to see what we can do in that area. There's a lot of guys in the middle of that state, in the middle of Missouri, that should show up. So,
well, we're going to try to be at that one too.
And then, we go the Lake of the Ozarks, May 8th. Last year we were there and had 60 boats. It was a great turnout, fun tournament. I think I'm around maybe 15 or 16 pre-registered for that tournament. And then back up to Davenport, May 5th, Burlington, Iowa, May 20th, and then Father's Day, June 17th, back in Canton, Missouri for the Jack and Jill tournament, which is always a great event.
Yep. It's going to be a big year, man.
Yeah. One of the tournaments I'm really excited about is October 6th will be my last tournament in New Madrid, Missouri, during their fall festival. So I had taken that tournament over from Ken. Ken passed away, and they'd contacted me and still want to keep it going. So we're going to do that in his memory this year, and hope to have a really good event. And we've already got quite a few people signing up for that tournament as well.
That is a big catfish area.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
they in the past, now recent past, they haven't had great numbers, but there was a time when that tournament in the fall there at New Madrid held some giant numbers for catfishing guys too, all over the United States. It should be an outstanding event. The other big event that I look for you to have over 100 boats will be at Brunswick this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think we had some crazy weather last year and still had, I think, 76 boats.
You know, when you got 76 boats that turn out in tornadic conditions and rain in sheets for hours on end and still have that many people show up to fish, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun tournament. The city really comes together, and just like all of them do. And that's what's kind of growing, is getting the people in the town. I actually, yesterday on my drive home, I had a call from a guy from Cape Girardeau, just calling to find out what time the weigh-in is in Columbia Bottoms this weekend. So he's going to drive up from Cape just to watch the weigh-in. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. Yep, that is really neat that they'll drive that far to watch weigh-ins. But you know, Columbia Bottoms, there's a good chance of seeing on 3 fish anywhere from 150 to 230 pounds weighed in there.
Yeah. My very first tournament when I took it over was at Columbia Bottoms, and I remember just the fish, you know, that them guys weighed in were just crazy. And the biggest fish that I've weighed is 103 pounds that Justin Wolf and Matt Marshall and his wife caught 2 years ago, and that was out of Columbia Bottom. So usually I always like to say, if you got 150 pounds and 3 fish, you still better keep going.
Yeah,
that might not be good enough.
It could very not, you know, and it's just on the other side of the bridge where Justin and Jason and I forgot who they fished with put 230 pounds in the boat on 3 fish. And these guys talk about having 150, 160 pounds on 5 fish. When you put 230 plus pounds of fish on 3 fish, now you've done something. That's huge numbers.
Absolutely.
And I don't care where you talk about. In my opinion, there's no place that you can do that kind of numbers that it's not on the Mississippi River. That's the only place I know of you can do it.
Yeah, I agree.
They just that, and that area is not hit nearly as bad with commercial guys and line guys, simply because of the barge traffic. And it does bear some watching. You have to be careful down there. But if you're fishing the Missouri, it's not nearly as bad. There's not nearly as much barge traffic on the Missouri River as there once was. But if you're fishing the Mississippi, there still is a lot of barge traffic. But if you pay attention to what you're doing, it's just no worse than any other place that you fish. There's barges on any of the big river systems, whether it be the Tennessee River, the Ohio River, Mississippi, or Missouri. There's barge traffic on all of them. And like I say, big fish, big waters, you better have some good quality bait. And if you show up down there, better bring your A game.
Yep. I got a new quote I'm using this year: leave the excuses on the water.
Leave. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. As a director, I always hear that. And I mean, I use that stuff too, but it's always fun when somebody says, yeah, I lost the big one, or the line broke, and you know, but so yeah, I believe it's going to take a lot of weight, and there's going to be a lot of big fish. I mean, a lot of these guys are you know, even guys that come from, you know, my buddy Seth from up in Chicago, you know, he can come down and catch his personal best, and that's why he comes down, because the fishing is just awesome, and you know, anybody can come and catch a PB.
Yep,
and that's what they're kind of there for.
You'll be in the same thing when you get down south there, South Missouri. Madrid. The other place that people don't understand is Brunswick. They always got 60, 70-pound fish caught in that area. You're not that far from the Kansas City area. And as of late, the last few years, since they have quit letting any kind of commercial fishing on the Mississippi or the Missouri River, the number of quality fish on the Missouri River from Kansas City to St. Louis has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
They've caught a bunch of 90-plus pound fish on the Missouri River all the way from Kansas City down. They've caught fish over 100 pounds in a lot of those areas. And I can remember a few years ago that wasn't happening. So when you hit that Brunswick tournament, it wouldn't surprise me to see a huge number weighed in there too. And that's a night tournament.
Yep, that's a night tournament. And we had some really good fish weighed in last year, even with all the weather. And I know, so I talked to some guys that said that they were fog. They could barely see out of the front of their boat. And they still brought in some good fish. I think the top couple teams only had 2 fish. And still
but
were
they
over
were
100
giants.
pounds.
Yeah,
they were giants.
They were giants. Yep. And I'm going to tell you, Doc, I know your work schedule does not allow you to make some of these tournaments. I understand that. But that Brunswick town, it's a small area. They put up some big money for these fishermen. They closed down a street to do a Calcutta. They go all out to bring this tournament to town. And if some of the other communities would go all out like they do for the tournaments that come to their area, you would see catfishing skyrocket to huge numbers. That's
everywhere.
Yeah. It's what it takes. They want them catfishing guys in their town. They want them eating in their restaurants, and they do. They want them running through there, and the night before to Calcutta, they kind of open up to the little bar there in town. I would guess that would be one of their biggest nights of the year. What is it? The American Legion or something that puts on the dinner up there for us every year, Alex?
Yeah, I think it's the American Legion.
And great food. What'd you say, Cindy?
Good.
Yeah, it's good food. And it's, it's buffet style, all you can eat. Great bunch of people. They give you your drinks and your food, and it doesn't cost you a dime. All you got to do is show up and sign up to fish their tournament. The whole community just goes all out. And that Calcutta, Alex, is just – it's too much fun.
Yeah, that was my first – I put on
Knights of Columbus. I'm sorry, Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus. My first Calcutta I put on in Warsaw, actually, and it went well. But in Brunswick, when the town shows up, and I think it was 6,000. Was it 6 or 8,000 that we raised? That maybe it was $8,000.
It was $8,000 some dollars, I believe. Yeah.
So $8,000 was raised to go on top of the already big payout, and how they do that is that's an 80-20. So 6,000 of that goes to whoever bought that team, whether it be the team or somebody in the town or anybody, and the other 2,000 goes to the angler. So Cody Thompson and Mike Suttner won that, and I think their first place payout was maybe 6,200 around that area, and plus 2,000 from that Calcutta. And if they would have bought themselves, they would have took home a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I think I've talked to Cody a little bit, and he said he ain't gonna let that happen this year.
Yeah, I bet that's right. I'll bet that's right. That is a super huge event, and it's so much fun. It just blows my mind that a town that size can get behind what that catfishing community does. And I'm telling you now, them boys up there take their catfishing pretty serious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They do. It's a big deal to them, and they want all the outsiders to come in there and try to take that tournament because they're going to be betting they don't.
Yeah, and with all my tournaments, even like Columbia Bottoms, I love seeing with Mathenia and a couple of those guys from the Kansas City area go back and forth on Facebook. But it's always fun to see. I mean, Justin Neese and Michael Carpenter have came now twice out of the 4 years I've been there and taken the trophy back to the west side of Missouri, and some Illinois guys have won it. So the St. Louis guys have only won that tournament one time out of 4
they're going to
years
be
that I've been
stepping
there.
up. I got to, from what I'm hearing, some of them St. Louis boys have been looking for fish for about a week and a half now. So, you know, we got to keep that on our end of the state.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's
not
going to be
keep it,
fun.
they got to get it back.
They got to get it back. Yeah,
That's
Justin
right.
he got it last year with 2 fish.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting to see what they do this year. For sure.
Yep.
I can't wait.
We got to give away. Look at all the thumbs up I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's not the right one, but we need the 150. Give away one of them.
We got
Fords
some,
and
we have some really cool prizes to give away tonight. Doc, what do you say we do some of that?
All righty.
We have 2 Team Catfish hats, and I would like to give one of them away right now in chat if Doc would be so kind to pull the names up.
All right. Give me a second here.
Sure.
There's a bunch of them. Woo.
I got a message from Justin Thornton, said he never wins things. Well, you did tonight, big boy.
Team Catfish hat.
No, Team Catfish.
Okay, Lyle, I'm ready.
All right, Alex, pick us out a number between 1 and 5.
3.
3 it is. 1, 2, 3. And the winner is Mike Branham. Mike Branham.
In the chat.
Yeah, Branham.
Mike, if you will, after the show, if you will send me your shipping address, we will get that hat out to you. Jeff Williams kindly stopped in yesterday afternoon before we closed it out and donated 2 hats to give away on our show tonight. And I will get it packaged up and get it sent to you. Thanks for watching the show. And thanks for playing our games where we give stuff away. It isn't really the Rig Wrap prize wheel game, but when these guys want us to give away their products and they are generous enough to donate prizes for us to give away, we're good enough to give them away. And thank Jeff Williams. If you would send him a message and tell him thank you for donating them hats to Catfish Weekly so we could give them away to you. I'd appreciate it very much.
Yeah,
Jeff was a very great guest on our show yesterday.
Yeah, he brought those to us when we interviewed him.
I thought he was going to bring them up there and give them to you and me, but he wanted to give them away on the show. And that's
he said that's fine.
That's perfect. Yeah, it really was. So, Alex, what else you got going on you can tell us about?
I've got a few new sponsors this year. I've got a lot of people some new sponsors that stepped up, but I'd like to just name them real quick because without them, there'd definitely not be a Twisted Cat Outdoors. But King Waterproofing and Foundation, Lonnie Faust at Pogue, Farm and Home Supply, More Insurance, Sea Arc Boats, Dave's Marine, Monster Rod Holders, Lex Frozen Custard, Cam Concepts, Evan Rude, the Mudbum Supply Shack, Rail Splitter Rods, Jackie Weisenberger Real Estate, and Catfish Clothing. So that's the big sponsors behind the trail for Twisted Cat in 2018, and also still have a lot of sponsors in each town that I go to that helps with the added money. And a lot of these tournaments, I think every one of my tournaments, but maybe 3 have added money, and some of them big money, $7,000, $6,000, $5,000. So I'm excited to kind of start the year, and I am doing something that I've been wanting to do for a couple years. It's kind of I've been working with a few guys kind of on ideas on how it would go, but I've always wanted to do a invitational where I can invite the guys that, fish a lot throughout the year and that finish well to a invitational. I'm not 100% sure on where exactly it will be, but some of the things behind it is it's going to be I'm going to invite the top 5 captains of each of my tournaments. So there's 12 tournaments, and the top 5 captains of each tournament is invited. And And then if you win 2 or 3 tournaments, that just cancels out. It doesn't go any further than top 5. And then for wherever that tournament's going to be, 5 days before that tournament, there's going to be no fishing on that, no boating or fishing on that water for 5 days prior. And it's going to be a big payout. So I'm working with a few different towns to see what's going to be the best. And I will be hopefully announcing that within the next couple weeks. So
I'm excited about that. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a great, great show.
Yeah, definitely put some of the best guys that, fish my trail and get them all in one show and see who can take the win.
That's right.
Who's
right.
the best.
You talked about doing that last year. We'd have been in it last year. Hopefully we can make enough tournaments and make a difference. We want to be in that. It'll be a hoot, but you're going to have – that's something that I like because you have to earn your way into that tournament.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's definitely something that, a lot of my tournaments are now 50-plus boats. So, finishing top 5 is doing something, especially against some of these. I mean, there's guys traveling 4, 5, 6 states, regularly that you got to fish against and do well. So
that's right.
For somebody to finish top 5, you're a good fisherman, and I'm going to invite you to something that I promise it'll be awesome.
It will be.
It
will be. It'd be great. Now we've got some people wanting to know what time the tournament starts down there this weekend. So would you go over all the information with start times, how they get in touch with you, the entries and all that stuff, Alex?
Yeah. So this weekend in St. Louis, it's down at Columbia Bottoms, and the entry fee is going to be $135. You can have up to 3 people in the boat with no age limit. Last year we started at 7:00, which didn't quite work because it was pretty dark out still. So it was tough to get, an overwhelming 63 boats in the water. So we ended up having to kick it back just a little bit. So this year we're going to do 7:30 to 3:30 out of Columbia Bottom. So we're going to start registration at 5:30, and we'll have things run a little bit more smooth than last year. The weather looks great, and I think the fishing is going to be great. So if anybody needs to contact me about any questions of the tournament, whether it's this weekend or whenever, definitely send me a message on Twisted Cat on Facebook. My number's plastered all over everything, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm always on the phone talking to somebody about something, whether it be a sponsor or an angler, or a lot of new people that are getting in the sport. And I've seen that in the last year, especially. A guy actually came to one of the tournaments in the beginning of the year and said he had just bought a boat and started coming throughout the middle of the year. And by the end of the year, after getting skunked a few times and some boat problems, he ended up getting 4th place in my last tournament against some really good guys. And he's still smiling since September. So he'll be back this year, and he's excited. And, he's started his own little YouTube channel like a lot of people have, and kind of just helping spread the word and CPR and showing what he likes to do and, his technique. So it's fun watching this sport grow. I never would have thought that it'd be where it is today, from that night you called me asking if I would give that Twisted Cat Outdoors thing a try. And I did.
Well, I'm so glad you did. You've done a really cool job with it. The sport's growing. You're making Twisted Cats grow, and it's really neat to see it to see it jump like it has. And I know with the things you have in store, it's only going to get much, much better.
Yep.
Good deal. Question, Alex.
Yes, sir.
Bradley Young says, ask him about not waking up for the Canton, Illinois Jack and Jill tournament, and ask him why.
I'm confused because I did wake up, but that's actually, as that question goes, that's kind of a reason. Jack and Jill tournament is a good tournament. So, it's a guy and girl tournament. You can still have 3 boats. There's anywhere from moms and their sons and dads and their daughters to husbands and wives. And there's only one hotel in that town, so everybody stays at it. And the city puts on they have a band come down on Main Street, and everybody just kind of gets together. Some have a little bit more fun than others, but so yeah, it's a good tournament, and it's fun really seeing people, even having some people from Indiana come over. Heath Malone and his wife, they've, I think, been there the last 3 years, and they are coming back this year. So people are traveling to this Jack and Jill tournament right dead almost in the middle of spawn. Now, we do catch blues still during that time, but it's kind of a tough time to fish. But that tournament's not just about the fishing. I mean, it's about kind of getting together and, just having fun during that time of the spawn. So it's definitely growing, and usually we're around 35 boats, which is good for that time of year, and it's definitely growing. So I hope to see 45 plus boats this year at the Jack and Jill.
When is it?
That's June 17th.
Okay.
Sunday, June 17th.
It is a great event. That's one of the most fun things that we do with Twisted Cats all year, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
We have a message here from Carl Wells. Want to know how Steve and Lisa's health's doing. Steve is very tired. He had a huge week. And Lisa's home from the hospital, just so everybody knows. And she didn't come to the conference, but she's doing much, much better. And everything, from what Steve had told us, she's doing really well.
Yeah, I'd actually worked with Steve a little bit at his booth since he's a sponsor of mine. And his booth was rocking. He was tired and, from all the setup. And me and Terry Rogers and Seth were there helping. And I just couldn't believe the amount of people that were at his booth buying rod holders and nets and shirts. And wow.
Well,
I was sweating back there.
What he told us, Alex, was that he sold 400 rod holders in 2.5 hours.
I believe it. Yeah.
That Absolutely. Is a huge number.
Yeah. And he sold all his nets. He said by 11 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, I almost sold Chris Souter, had one that he had already paid for, and I almost sold it. But yeah, I think I sold when I was there just probably 15 nets. I mean, they were flying. But,
but everything there was like that.
Everything was like that. I was at the rail splitter booth and the offshore tackle booth, and that was really fun going to work for the companies that are backing me and Twisted Cat. Being able to talk to some of the other sponsored anglers such as Doc and Chris Souders, seeing, some of the techniques they're doing with a planer board and, being able to talk to people that you can't see in person, throughout the year. So it was cool seeing people step up and help their sponsors.
Yep.
It was really awesome.
We had a great time over at the offshore tackle booth. We spent some time over there with them, and they have some great products. I mean, I've either used or looked at most everything on the market. There's nothing that compares to what they offer, and we're very pleased to be a part of what they do. And we're going to actually give some away here in a little bit. But the thing about Bruce and Nick and all them guys is they want to be in the catfishing world. They've been doing this for a long time. They've been through all of the stuff that don't work, and they got all the stuff that does work. And what a great family business that promotes fishing. Just super nice guys. And Doc and I are going to be doing a show next week specifically about planer boards. So
yeah.
For people that are listening to what Alex is telling you about offshore tackle, the show will apply to anybody's boards that you use, but it is specifically going to be about planer board fishing, and it should be. We hope we have some information to share with everybody that they can use, and if nothing else, they can take what we do and adapt it to their way of fishing and possibly create their own style of doing it, because what we do may not work for one guy or the other.
Right.
But it's all a general information that should help everybody out.
They may make it better.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll be a good show for
sure. It'll be a lot of fun.
Just when I worked at the offshore booth, talking with even Chris Souter, seeing some of the different techniques he uses with that board, these are planer boards that we're not just trolling with. Obviously, we're definitely using them in a lot of scenarios.
That's right.
And it's changing the game. So
it is. It really is. And everybody kind of laughed for a long time at the few of us that actually used them. But when they start seeing the results and know that they're not going to have the same results in certain conditions without doing it, then they realized they had to step up too.
Absolutely.
Alex, thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight. I know that you work all day. You was at the conference all weekend. You got a big tournament coming up this weekend. Hopefully the weather hangs out like it is. It was beautiful in Missouri today, and we're looking forward to get down there and putting some fish in the boat.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on the show and talking about my tournament trail. And if anybody needs to chat with me or get a hold of me about the trail, you can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So thanks, guys. And,
it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure meeting you this weekend, Alex.
Yes, you also.
Now, Alex, you know that if there's anything that Catfish Weekly can do to help you out in any way at any time, please feel free to contact us. I'm usually you usually can get a hold of me, but if for some reason you can't, send to your doc or one of them will be able to do what you need to do. But we want all these tournament trails to grow and succeed, and you've done great things with Twisted Cat, and we're so proud of what you're doing.
Yep. Thank you very much. I'm excited and ready for this season to get kicked off.
Me too. I got to get qualified to be in that big event you're going to have at the end of the year. I'll be pretty disappointed if I don't make that.
Yeah, I promise you'll want to be involved.
Yeah, I think
it'll be a good one.
Well, Alex, before you leave, let's go ahead and give something away, Lyle.
Okay.
And we were talking about planer boards. Don't we have a set of planer boards we can give away?
We have a set of offshore tackle planer boards that some lucky person will win.
All right. How many names you got there? 400 and some odd?
402 people in the random.org generator.
All right. Alex, give us a number from 1 to 5, please.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. And the winner is Aaron Bass. Aaron Bass. If you will contact us after the show, send us a message on the Catfish Weekly Facebook page and give us your shipping address. We have a set of offshore tackle planer boards that we are going to send to you.
The big ones.
The big ones, the SST mags. They are awesome planer boards. They are extremely easy and great to use when you are on heavy current rivers or any current rivers. They work good being pulled when you're dragging baits and stuff. And believe me, they will hold up as big a bait as you dare put on a hook. Would you not agree, Alex?
I agree. I've been using them for 3 years now, and I'm doing some pretty odd things with them. But yeah.
If they're that odd, maybe we ought to get you on here and tell us about some of that odd stuff you're doing.
I'm not sure I'm going to give away some of the secrets just yet, but soon.
Well, Alex, again, thanks so much. And like I say, if there's anything you need or we can help you in any way, please feel free to give us a shout.
Okay, sounds good. Nice chat with you guys.
You too.
Right, thanks, Alex.
Great tournament this weekend. Twisted Cat Outdoors own Alex Nagy, Doc. He's doing a bang-up job for Twisted Cat. He has some great big tournaments, and everything works out pretty smooth. Big turnouts, big payouts. He's just doing a great job. So proud of what he's doing.
Yeah, we had a nice little conversation over the weekend. He's a real nice gentleman.
Yes, he is. Real good boy. Now, welcome to Hugh and Rose Thompson. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
We're so good, it's unbelievable.
I imagine that.
We had a big trip over the weekend. We all went to the Catfish Conference, and it was such a great time. We had a blast down there, and I know you guys are gearing up for a huge tournament season this year.
We are.
Yes, sir.
How many tournaments are you having?
Not even sure yet. We're gonna add a couple of others as soon as we get this one worked out.
Good deal. Good deal. How far are you guys stretching out this year?
Memphis to Vicksburg on the river. We still have 3 in-state events to do this spring, but when we start doing the river events, that'll be about July possibly. That'll run through November, something like that.
Nice. Good deal. Any changes from last year?
Nothing major. You know of anything worth noting? No?
No, nothing I can
Got
think
a
of off the top of my head.
got a surprise coming in the next week or 2, hopefully. We'll get back with you on that.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a good year. We got a lot of good guys fishing with us, and a lot of other guys that expressed interest. So it's gonna be a good year.
You know, you've got some of the top anglers in the nation that fish your trail down there.
Yes, sir. And then good people too.
Yeah, they are. I know Larry and Joey Pounders and a bunch of them guys fish your trail, and you have spread it out quite a little bit in your area down there.
Yes, sir. Yes. It's Arkansas. It's Mississippi, Tennessee,
Alabama.
Louisiana. We've had some from other states come for an event or 2. But,
Good. That's good.
it's not a Mississippi event anymore. It's a Mississippi River event now.
Well, and you guys are new to the tournament world.
Sir?
You're new. You just started this, last year?
Yes, sir. Yes, there wasn't any tournaments down here. There wasn't anything below Memphis or whatever, unless National Trail came to Tunica or something. Or West Tennessee would come to Tunica once a year. That was the extent of tournaments in Mississippi. We started that to do that, and it just grew. We were lucky to get a lot of support. It really took off when we hit the Mississippi River, and we just kind of found our home there.
Well, there's something about the Mississippi River that everybody loves. You know, the thing that I tell people is that you have to respect that river, but it's really no harder to fish than any other place. You just have to give her the respect she deserves, because she can bite you.
That's right.
That's right.
2000.
All right, good, awesome. We just reached our 2,000 subscriber mark. That's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal for us. We have a lot of viewers, but we never push for subscribers. Didn't know you're supposed to do that for 3 years. We didn't know you're supposed to try to get them. It wasn't important as having people watch the show. Having subscribers was not as important as having people watch the show. And then some guys kept saying, "Hey man, you need to work on that. You're missing the boat." They generate YouTube presents your stuff out in front of people. The more subscribers you got, well, you got to have it out in front of people to get new viewers. So that's when we started working on it. We knew we was messing up. So 2,000 subscribers is a big deal for us. Very happy about that.
Yeah.
How long have y'all been on the air now? I saw, I think it was 2014. Is that?
Yep. Let's see. We're starting our 4th year.
4 years.
4th year. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. It's a blast. I sent some messages out to a couple of guys to see if they would be interested in doing a reunion show. I would have liked to put one together with Paul Ragsdale, which I'm pretty sure he would do one, and Chuck and Chris, and never got any response back. So I'm assuming that one or more of them doesn't want to do it. But I know we can get Paul. We've had Paul on multiple times. I'm pretty sure we can get Chuck on there. I would like to have Chris join us and just do a show with all of us at some point. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but whether we can put it together, make it happen, we'll see what happens. But regardless, we have such a good time doing the show, and it's a lot of fun. And, you know, you guys, are you guys going to be fishing a bunch of big tournaments again this year?
Oh, yes, sir. We've got a 20-something on the schedule. We can make them all.
Right. I understand. Well,
We're going to try to support our neighboring trails as much as we can. West Tennessee, AACH over there in Arkansas, you know, and then we've got some new stuff going on in Mississippi in general. We've got a Deep South Mississippi Trail now, and then we've got the North Mississippi Catfish Club. And we're going to try to support both of them as much as we can, on top of the Cabela's and big events like MRM.
yep.
Such as that.
Love Mississippi River Monsters and Monsters on the Ohio. They're great. I have been really watching the boys down in Arkansas. I'm excited to see them growing like they are. I would like to try to make some of their stuff this year if we possibly can, just because so many of them are good friends of ours. And I know that a lot of them guys fish your stuff. So that would be a great deal. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And Doc, you need to look into some of these things these guys in Arkansas and Mississippi are putting on. They're having some great events down there.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Another place that's putting on a bunch of great shows is down in Oklahoma.
Yeah, we got something about that, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And I have some information to visit about a little bit later on. But, you know, I got this deal that I want to fish. Of course, you know, I want to fish Tawakoni, but I got a hankering to head to Texoma. Knowing that there was a 121-pounder caught out of there. It was a world record here a few years ago. I'm thinking there might be another big one down there with my name all over it.
I think it's got mine.
Cindy thinks it's got her name on it, but, you know, it doesn't matter.
I'll share.
If we get it in the boat, I'll be just as happy.
I agree with Sandy.
I thought you might, yeah. I thought you might. But I don't care. I can sit and watch her catch fish all day. I'll net them. It doesn't make any difference to me. We have a really fun time going out and going after those fish. So this weekend should be a big tournament down in St. Louis, and I know there'll be a lot of giant fish caught down there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's one right before the Cabela's up there in Helena. If anybody's wanting to do some free fishing or whatever, that'd be a good way to get out and do that and participate in the local event. We're also talking with George Young Jr. about doing one prior to MRM. It's Memphis.
That'd be a great event.
That's a couple of good ones y'all might want to consider trying to make if you want to try to get down this way.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't like to pre-fish a tournament at Memphis, getting ready for Mississippi River Monsters? Man, that'd be a great event.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think it'll be a hit.
Yep. If you get that put together, be sure and let us know so we can help you get the word out for that. I'd say that you get a lot of participation in a deal like that.
Yes, yes. I think that'll be a good thing.
Awesome.
Around.
Awesome. Hey, while you guys are still on here, how about you help us give out another hat from Team Catfish?
Okay.
Doc, you want to give her away in chat?
Yeah, we can do that. Give me a second here.
Okay. Yep.
Because more people came into the chat.
Yeah, we had a pretty good crowd watching the show tonight, and we're not done yet, folks. So don't be running off. We have
who did we give the last one to?
Cindy, who got the last one?
Branham.
Yeah, Mike Branham. And Mike sent me a message, Doc. He would like us to sign that hat. And he's going to give it to his daughter, which I thought was pretty nice. We've been doing some of that, and we'll sign it here and get it over to you. But he's going to give it to his daughter, and her name is Ashlyn. and we're happy to do that for Ashland, and we'll get it done, and I'll send it to Doc. Doc can sign it and then put it in the mail, and he will send it out to you, Mike, and that hat will be going to Milford, Iowa.
Milford, Iowa.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Give me a second here. There's a bunch of people in chat.
Yes, there is.
All right. Give me a number from 1 to 5.
2.
What was it?
2.
2?
2.
2.
1 and 2. And the winner is James Smith. James Smith, you are the winner.
Congratulations, James.
Heck yeah. You will, if you will contact us after our show is over and send us a message on the Catfish Weekly Facebook page, we will get that hat to you. Compliments of Team Catfish. Jeff was gracious enough to give us a couple of hats to give away on our show. We appreciate that so much. And Jeff does a lot of things for the catfishing world, and we had him on the show here a while back. But Doc, we probably need to get Jeff back on here.
Yeah,
he's a does a lot of good things for the sport, and he had a bang up time down at the Catfish Conference too.
Chris Baldwin, thank you, buddy. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, it means so much to us. It really does. Thanks a lot. Hugh and Rose, have you guys got anything else you can help us out with for some new information for Mississippi Catfish Trail?
New information. We're going to start back on the river in July. We've got some local stuff coming up. We got a tournament this Saturday on the Tom Bigby. Be it Moon Lake. That's going to be a trailering event. It'll actually be, you can fish the Mississippi River or the lake. Then we've got the Kenny Bolin Memorial Tournament. And Grenada Lake, that was our biggest event last year, believe it or not. We had close to 50 boats coming till they found out it was Mother's Day. We scheduled that May the 5th this year, so that's going to be a little before Mother's Day, and maybe we'll get that 50 boats. That'd be a state record for number of boats in an event in Mississippi.
Awesome. That's outstanding.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to it. When are y'all going to get down?
Well, we're trying to wheel everybody in. It's hard to get to all the places that we want to go, but I would, as long as you're having it on the Mississippi River, I'm up fishing. You know, if we can make a trip down there, and I would love to get down there and fish with you guys.
Vicksburg, man, sometime September, I think it's the 22nd. That would be the one to make right there. That is Memphis City one.
Y'all would enjoy it.
I'm quite sure I would. I haven't been anywhere fishing I didn't have a good time.
I might have to fish it though, just to compete against y'all too.
That'd be fine too. Absolutely. Any other way.
I guess, Rose, we could kick Lyle out of the boat and you and I could fish it.
There you
Yeah, there we go.
I guess I can be your wayman at the thing, Hugh.
Net boy.
Oh, they want me to go along and net their fish.
He can net the
I see
fish.
what it is. Well, I'm okay with that too. That'll work. Well, listen, you guys, thank you so much for coming on Catfish Weekly tonight and updating us on the Mississippi Catfish Trail. We wish you guys the best of luck this year. We're looking forward to seeing you guys at Mississippi River Monsters and some other tournaments. And maybe we can squeeze things in to where we can make it down there and fish one of your tournaments.
It'd be awesome. It was good talking to y'all.
What about that Rick Rapp wheel? That's a mighty fine looking thing. I hadn't seen it move.
Let's move.
Would you like to spin that, Hugh?
Man, that would be awesome.
Well, let's just do that. If you pick me out a number between 1 and 5, we'll just spin that old wheel.
All right. How about 4?
4 it is. 1.
4 is a popular number tonight.
Yeah.
3, 4, and this time the winner is John Abner, Abner. Let's just see what John Abner wins. run the wheels off of it, man. John Abner.
Mud Bums is hot tonight.
Yeah, certificate from the Mud Bum Supply Shack. Willie and Blaine are probably gonna be mad at me, but you know, I warned them it could happen, you know. So if you will contact them guys, Crash won't mind. He knows what the chances. He wanted on that wheel and we wanted him to be on there. We got him twice tonight. I believe it's a $25 gift certificate that you could spend right there in the Mud Bum Supply Shack. They have hooks and line and sinker, and you can apply it to something over top of that price, but you're gonna get some great products from them. Their motto is they don't sell no junk, and I agree. I've been up there and I've seen it. They got the highest quality products that money can buy in there. So contact the Mud Bum Supply Shack and collect your prize. And
That looks like getting a bigger wheel next year.
you think we will?
It looks like it's filling up.
Well, we might just have to revamp it or something and keep it because it's been a good one so far. We don't see any reason to get rid of it yet. Listen, you guys, thank you.
On there if you don't get a bigger one.
Yeah, it might be. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Catfish Weekly tonight. I know it's Monday night and everybody's busy and hectic, and we appreciate you guys taking your time out to spend a little time on the show with us, telling us about the Mississippi Catfish Trail and where you guys are headed this year, and we're looking forward to seeing you at some of these events.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Doc, we got some other stuff to go over tonight. I have some tournament results.
All righty.
Results from the water. This is a tough one. I'm going to spell this. WAURIKA tournament, February 25th. I have no idea if that's a lake or a river. I never heard of it before. First place was, and Big Fish was Rolling Fatties, Team Chris Baldwin and Adam Shriver. 68.4 pounds, Big Fish at 24.3 pounds. Second place, Shiloh Womack and Dalton Dale and Dale Harless, 41.9 pounds, and Big Fish at 15.5 pounds. Third place was Austin Jameson and Billy Testerman. Dustin Curtis, 40.4 pounds, and Big Fish at 23.14 pounds. Fourth place, Mike Orr and Brian Orr and Tim Orr. This had to be out in Pennsylvania. 37 pounds and Big Fish at 12.9. Fifth place was Sean Talley and Jay Treckle, 36.3, and Big Fish at 16.1 pounds. Pretty good turnout there. Third tournament of the year for Texas Catfish Trail coming up this Saturday, March 3rd on Lake Belton. Expecting good fishing conditions and 30-plus boat turnout. If anybody wants to contact them, you can contact them on Facebook or give this number a call, 254-541-8412. So be sure and contact them. That is the Central Texas Catfish Trail. Them guys have really been having a bunch of quality tournaments down there, been catching a lot of fish, and that's what we want to see happen. So hopefully they can continue on with what they're doing. They have a lot of tournaments down there, and they get to fish a little before the rest of us do.
Oh man, they are not right in chat. That's all there is.
Is that right? Don't forget, guys, to get signed up, get your entries in for the 2018 National Catfish Weekly National Championship. I visited with Jody and Daniel over the weekend. They're bringing their scales. They're bringing their stage up. We got a bunch of things going on. If we could predict the weather, we're working to get a building to hold the Calcutta in. It's extremely hard to put that event together. We're trying to get what Boomer's actually now trying to help us get a building to put that in. Because if it was just up to me, we'd try to do it outside. But if we have bad weather, we can't do that. So that's going to be a determining factor. But if Boomer can help us get a building, we're going to do a Calcutta. If not, and it's pouring down rain, there's nothing we can do. So as soon as we have more information on that, we'll get it to you. Chuck McCoy sent me Hubbard Creek Hubbard Creek Hogs Cat Classic Scholarship Tournament results. Second place went to Team Get the Weight, and the weight was 106.4 with a big fish of 35.7. They won $427. First place went to Team Brotherhood, 121 pounds with a big fish of 36.3 pounds. They won $1,567. Big fish, bottom bouncers, 45.6 pounds, and they won $450. Pretty good turnout.
Someone must know what.
Yep. 777 Outdoors wants to know, what is a Calcutta tournament?
Okay. A Calcutta is not a tournament. A Calcutta is an added money pot. And the way that we would run that is like you do in a pool tournament. And what happens is everybody that is entered in the tournament would be added to this Calcutta pot. And the bid would start out at $10 per team. And if nobody bids on you, you can buy yourself for $10. And some of the big name teams would end up with huge amounts of money bid on them, and it all go to a pot. And if somebody outside of the tournament would happen to buy that, then you could walk over and say, hey, I want to buy half of that pot, and split the cost with them and divide up the money. If say Doc buys himself for $200 in the Calcutta, if there's $10,000 in the Calcutta and nobody overbids him, he would win that whole $10,000 on top of whatever he wins in the tournament.
Okay, here we go. That sounds good. I'm in.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. You know, when they have the Brunswick tournament, they shut down a street in front of that little bar up there. They open it up. The city people that live in that community bring lawn chairs, and they bid outrageous numbers. I think last year it was over $8,000 that they bid on those tournament anglers. The numbers was down as far as anglers last year simply because of the crappy weather that was going on. Nobody can help that. You can't predict the weather when you set these tournaments up a year or more in advance. Those people were still out there bidding on those guys. And the year before, they didn't make it mandatory for the people to get in the Calcutta that was entered. The team that actually won did not get in the Calcutta, and Brian Saunders and Danny Soffin ended up splitting almost $7,000 because they was the second place team and they got in the Calcutta. So that's how the Calcutta works, and it is a great way to promote bigger money in the sport without actually having to get in it. With the heavy hitters that are coming to the Catfish Weekly tournament, I talked to Larry Muse. Larry and Dino's coming up. You know, when you get guys like that, there's no telling what they'll bring in an auction. You know, for example, and I know Bill's schedule does not permit him to do a lot. Jeff Dodd, Swamp, John Warden, and Bill Dance are qualified to fish our tournament. I understand that's probably right in planning season for Jeff Dodd. I understand that Bill Dance has such a schedule and it's planned months and years in advance. But if Bill Dance and Jeff Dodd and John Warden would show up, can you imagine what those guys would bring in a Calcutta?
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable. Larry Muse is liable to bring a huge number. There's just no telling. You know, Doc, I want to touch on something here that we need to tell people about. I went over and we had Justin Browning on our show down there with us. Justin and some of those guys are working to get signatures to send into these states and stuff to get regulations put in effect. They're working really hard. Chris DeBow and Justin, and I'm sorry, but I can't remember all them other guys' names. They had
Rob Benningfield, Chris DeBow.
Yep. They sat down there at that booth and took names. They signed names up. Now, people pay attention to what I'm getting ready to say. They signed up people to help promote, to get regulations from pay lake guys. They understand there is a need to get these regulations done. They actually got commercial fishermen to sign this. Now, they didn't get them all. You're not ever going to.
Yeah.
They're making a difference. They're making it happen. They're working really hard to get this done. Kudos to them guys. Justin come over and he was telling about that, and his passion is so great. He is working so hard. Him and Chris and Rob and them guys got a booth at the Catfish Conference to take names. The next time you see them guys or you're visiting with them on Facebook, thank them guys for what they're doing. It's so important to all of us. And for those of you that don't know it, they're putting their time in and making this happen. So they've deserved a thank you from everybody that's involved.
Yes, they do. They're working hard.
They are. They're working really hard.
Kind of a thankless. It's kind of a thankless job too.
It really is. Another thing I want to talk about. Did we not have a good time with the guys from Fishing for Freedom, Quincy, and come over and do a show?
Oh, yes, we did.
We had a blast with you guys. That's such a great event, and they signed up several boaters down there, and we're around 100 boaters short to get all these warriors out on the water the first weekend in June. So if you have not signed up, if you have a boat, please contact them and get signed up. We need you to I got to get rid of a guy. Hang on just a minute.
Did I miss something here in chat?
Oh, it's hidden where you couldn't see it, but just in case something would happen.
Okay.
He is gone. And we're going to keep him gone.
I didn't see it.
No, you can't. It says message deleted, but I had it to where he couldn't go. He's the one who was spamming us here a while back, and he tried to again, but now he's gone again, so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
But anyhow, Fishing for Freedom, Quincy, Illinois, it's a great event. You can, if you live over an hour away, they'll get you a motel room for a couple of days. They're going to feed you meals in the evenings. You get to go fish the Mississippi River. You get to fish Mark Twain Lake, whatever you choose to do. You get to take the finest of the American people that protects us every day out, former military or present active duty guys out on the water for a day of fishing. It's the most fun you can have in a boat, and we need you guys' support. We're a little over 100 boats short. And call up there, message them, go to their website, sign up, get a hold of Mindy or Randall, or any of those guys can help you. And we need 100 boats signed up. We don't want to leave anybody sitting on the bank, and we need 100 people with boats. All right. What else you got tonight, Doc?
Well, I want to talk about what happened to me last Wednesday.
I think that's a great idea.
A lot of people came up to me at the Catfish Conference and said that they were glad I was still around, and so am I. But for those of you that did not know what may have happened to me, I went fishing on Wednesday with my partner, Daniel. And we had to clear the ramp off because there was a bunch of trees and stuff. We got out on the water, went to our first spot. And Daniel has a 17-foot, I think it's a low, a deep V, and it's a little iffy when you get up on that front deck. It likes to rock. Myself, I own a 240 Sea Arc, and it doesn't move. You stand, you step on the edge of it, it doesn't give at all. We were both pretty excited. There was a lot of fish around. I stepped on the front deck and tied us off and made the unfortunate mistake of, instead of stepping back, I stepped to the side, which is what I normally do on my Sea Arc. The boat tilted to one side. I put my other foot back to steady myself. That made it even worse. It dropped probably another foot. And it all kind of happened in slow motion. I started falling back. I knew I was going to hit the water. So I did. They teach us in the fire department, when you're doing fire rescue and water rescue, that to fold your arms across your chest. That way it has a tendency of trapping air in your sleeves. I had on a pair of muck boots, pair of jeans, a long sleeve t-shirt, a very heavy Carhartt jacket, a kayaker's life vest, and an F4 Frable rain suit on. When I hit the water, I just closed my eyes and just, I just said, I had to talk to myself and say, just stay calm. Let the jacket do what it's supposed to do, and it'll work. And it did exactly what it was supposed to do. I popped up. I didn't think I went that deep into the water. Daniel said I was completely gone. And naturally, you can just assume he was absolutely freaking out over the whole thing. And but he reached out, grabbed a hold of my boot, and I'm sitting there floating. The sleeves on my jacket had inflated from where I rolled my arms to my chest, and he reached over, had a hold of my foot. I kind of sat up in the water, and I was in 10 foot of water. The water temperature was 50.9 degrees. It didn't take my breath away, which was I was kind of surprised about that. But I could feel the coolness going into my boots as my boots were filling up with water. And what was kind of amazing, because the sleeves on my jacket had inflated it, it just kind of popped me up. So I reached up, locked my arms in on the rod holders. Daniel said, "Man, I don't think I can get you up into the boat." And I said, "Yeah, no, you're not going to, that's not going to happen." I said, "Go ahead and cut the rope." And I said, "Take me to the bank." And so he cut the rope, and we run over to the bank. And as soon as I felt the gravel bottom, I just walked right up the bank and stepped on the boat. And he took me to the ramp. The air temperature outside was about 64 degrees. It was much warmer than what the water temperature was. So I've been a paramedic for 25 years. I knew I had to get out of these wet clothes. So I took the Frable suit off. I took the life jacket off long enough to get the suit off, to get that Carhartt off, and then put it back on and got to the truck, got out of the wet clothes, and, and I'm here today still talking, which is good. So I encourage everybody, no matter how nice it is out, no matter whether you can swim, anything like that, put a life jacket on, wear it religiously. I wear mine religiously. It saved my life this time.
Yep.
So, and this is the first time I've been boating a long time. And this is the first time that I've ever hit the water. So, and it happened in just a matter of seconds. I knew as I was going overboard, I was going, "Oh man, I do not believe." And then as soon as I come up out of the water, I looked over at Daniel and I said, "Did I make a big splash?" And he goes, "Are you crazy?" He said, "Yeah." So, and then I started laughing. I said, "I don't believe I did this." So just something to keep in mind, guys. You're going to hear me preach it a lot. I'm very, very thankful the good Lord was watching over me and that I'm going to be fishing another day. So my advice to everybody, wear the life jackets, because you never know when you're going to make a mistake or do something wrong like I did.
Yep. Doc, we're so thankful that everything worked out the way it did. Daniel messaged me right away after that happened, or right after he got you home or something, and he was still kind of nervous about it. You scared him pretty bad. And Daniel's a really nice young man, a good guy, and I know he's a good partner for you to have fishing. But you got his attention, and Daniel's a lot younger than you and I.
Oh yeah.
So we're so thankful that everything worked out, and you're all right. And hell, you didn't even catch a cold over it, doesn't seem like, but that's unusual too.
Yeah, well, I was feeling kind of rough on Saturday, and Sunday, it wasn't too bad, but yeah. So,
It's we're just thankful that it worked out as well as it did, other than the fact that that you made it home and you was cold and in your skin.
yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that Daniel wasn't to himself enough to get some video of you sitting there when you're skiing. But it is what it is. Next time he'll be a little more prepared if it ever happens again, maybe.
He was lucky to drive the truck all the way home, man. He was shaking so
pretty bad, wasn't he?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you hit him pretty hard that time. He wasn't prepared for that. And like I say, we're very thankful that it worked out the way it did. So with that being said, do you still have a tip of the week tonight?
Yes, I do. Doc always has a tip.
There we go.
So, as everybody knows, at some point in time when you're trailering, you're going to run into a problem. Either you're going to have a flat tire, you're going to hit a chuck hole, you're going to bust a tire, you're going to have to change something. Well, what I've got in my truck is I call it a cribbing box. In the fire department, we call it cribbing. And what it is it's wood blocks that are different sizes. And here, let me show you what I got right here. See if we can see this. Okay, I got to change my view right here so I can make sure. There it is. All right, so here's my cribbing box. What I've got is a milk carton, and it's got 2x6s in it. And there's also 2x4s in it, or 4x6s. I'm sorry, 4x6s in it. And there's several of them. You can see them right here. And what you can do is you can sit there and you can stack these things up, and you can build them up so that you don't have to use your jack to go up so high. And if you're on unlevel ground, you're not going to have the best areas to park in. If you got mud, you can lay these things out so that you've got a nice steady platform. And what I did is I cut them so that these all fit like a little puzzle back in this milk crate right here. And as you can see, I just sit here and I can just stack them in. And there you have it. It's just a cribbing box that you can use for your jacks and anything else. And that's Doc's tip for the week.
And that is a great tip. One of the reasons it is a great tip, like you say, is because of unlevel ground. So many times you have problems. You can't do things without something like that. And if you have to unhook your trailer somewhere, you could take one of those blocks and chalk your wheels to keep the trailer out of the way.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
That is a really good tip, Doc. As always, thank you so much. Let's see. I don't have anything else to go over tonight.
Yeah, but these guys are waiting.
They are.
One thing.
They are. And now,
tell them about this bumping rod, Lyle.
Hang on one moment.
Okay.
I got a message from John, and I want to be sure to get this right. I don't want to forget anything. He's so good about sending this to me.
We're talking John Adams, right?
John Adams with Warrior Cat Rods. He wanted me to let everyone know that they have a special going on this week. 10% off and free shipping no matter how many rods you order from them from Wednesday at noon to Sunday at midnight. Now, free 10% off is a pretty good deal, but free shipping no matter how many rods they order. That is a big deal, a real big deal. So free shipping. Yeah. I ship a lot of stuff. I really do.
And what does it cost to ship one rod, Lyle? What does it cost to ship one rod?
Honest to God, Doc, it doesn't cost hardly anything different to ship 6 than it does 1.
Right.
And normally it depends on where it's at. With the way they have the shipping set up these days, if you live in a city, it's cheaper than if you live in the country. So if I ship a rod to you, it's around $25 to $30 depending on length and weight. But if I ship one to a guy in West Virginia and he lives in outside a city limits, it's liable to be $36-$38 because he don't live in city limits. And normally it would be the same amount, and same amount of time to get to either place doesn't make any difference. Sometimes you can get them shipped for $25. I rarely find anything anymore for $25 unless it's really close. Most of the stuff's around $28 to $35, depending on where it is, but it really doesn't cost hardly anything more to ship several than it does to ship one. But when you're talking about $25 or $30, that's $25 or $30 you're saving plus 10%.
Yep.
Now, John asked us to give that rod away to the people in chat.
Yes, he did.
So there's 50 some people that was in chat or that was watching the show a while ago that are not watching the show now, so they can't be in chat.
And so I just pulled them out. The ones that are in chat, I just pulled them out just now. And give me a number, Lyle. Actually, you can go higher than that. Just tell me. Go from 1 to 10.
I've ever picked a number, have I?
I don't think you have. So give me a number from 1 to 10. This is fairly quick.
6.
That's
All right. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. And there is number 6. And the winner is Jerry D. 270.
Jerry
D. 270. Are you on? You should be in the chat right now.
And Jerry, to acquire your new bumping rod from Warrior Cat Tackle, you need to message them on Facebook or send them a message at their website or call them and tell them that you won on Catfish Weekly. That is a great prize.
What is that? What did he tell us? That was $170 rod?
Yeah, somewhere around $200. So John Adams was gracious enough to do that. We never, and for you guys that are watching the show,
there he is. He's on the show. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations. And please let John know that you appreciate it. I would personally appreciate it if you would take a picture and post it on our Facebook page when you receive these products. It means so much for us. We have solicited a few sponsors. John comes up and sat down to do an interview with us and said, boys, I want you to give this away tomorrow night on your show. That's the kind of guy that he is. We have several sponsors that do that. We was in Memphis last year, and Big Cat Fever called on the phone and donated. What was it? 5
or 6. It was a bunch
right there at the pyramid. But
we thought we were getting spammed.
We did. We thought it was a joke, somebody else. So we called Tony up to make sure that he was doing it. But John walked over. He was gracious enough, as busy as he was yesterday in that booth. He walked over, sat down, and done an interview with us. And give away a rod. He wanted to make sure it was done in chat tonight. John Adams, we appreciate it so much. You're one of a kind, my friend. We appreciate everything you do for Catfish Weekly. John and I have some projects that we're actually working on, a few things. So we'll be hearing and seeing a lot more from John over the next year. That's an outstanding deal to give away a nearly $200 or a $200. I'm not sure what they sell for. I really don't know, but it's around $200. With 179 or 229 makes no difference to me. It's around $100. It's around $200 mark. So that's a huge deal. And thanks so much for doing that. And contact him and tell them, all the sponsors, even the guys on the rig wrap wheel, they do so much for us. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. They do it because they know you guys like to win stuff. They do it because it's good for their business and it's good for Catfish Weekly, and we appreciate it. While we're talking about that, Doc, if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment below the show. Join our Facebook page. We love to have new people. We see all
Yeah.
the posts.
What was it you said? Yeah, you were fat.
Full figured.
No, we are fluffy.
Yeah, fluffy.
Fluffy.
We are
We're not flat.
thrilled to have you guys watch our show, and your subscriptions and likes and comments mean a great deal. We love to see the pictures, and when you guys post some pictures of the kids, we try to look at every one of them, and it means a lot that you guys watch our show. It really does. So thanks again for watching. Anything else you got tonight?
Yep, there's a tournament this Saturday on O'Shaughnessy. Anybody shows up, hopefully Doc doesn't take a swim, but that's where I fell in at.
Well,
So,
good luck to you
I'm
guys.
going to be getting on Daniel's boat, except I'm going to learn how to run a tiller this weekend.
Well, good luck in your tournament. Be sure to check out the Twisted Cats this weekend. If you're in the St. Louis area, it's going to be a great event. Be a big turnout. Get there early if you're down there. We're going to try to make it if the water's good. I'm sure it is going to be. Next Monday night, Doc and I are going to be talking planer boards. We have
planer boards, and we're going to be, and we're not going. We are sponsored by Offshore, but we're going to talk a lot of planer boards. I'm going to give you a little bit of history of where I started. I'm going to have the boards that I've had here for 20 years. I'm going to show you the boards, what I did back years ago, and what I'm doing now. Lyle's going to do the same thing. He'll show you the boards that he's got. Our main emphasis is going to be on Offshore because that's what we're using.
That's what we use. They help us a great deal.
Success with them.
They work extremely well. They help us with giveaways and stuff on Catfish Weekly, and they help us personally. But they're a great product. But there's other boards out, and we didn't all start using those. But it's going to be a lot of information. There's some tricks and stuff we're going to share with you that some of the other guys do and a lot of people don't know about, and it should be pretty interesting. So next Monday night, thanks for watching Catfish Weekly. See you then.